Hello, people. How are you doing? We will talk about energy and time and money and currency and astrology and a plethora of other things. I will wait, as I usually do, for some people to show up before I start this. So I'll sit here and wait. If you come from the future, always fast forward a little bit so you can get to the beginning of the talk. I'll sit here and wait. Well, hey, I'm back. Seems to be a few people in here. What's up, Lucianne? How do you do? How are you? Maybe we can talk about the weather a little bit, even though I've already covered that. This hurricane that supposedly happened. Good to see you, three. Good to see you, two. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. I don't know where to start with this one, so this is why I'm kind of waiting. And we'll see where I should start with this idea. And as usual, what I do is I'll scroll through some videos, and I'll see what the topics are that people are going on about, or catch an email, or I'll just have a conversation with someone, and there'll be a certain idea that people have. I don't know where it comes from, and I'll go on about that. And it seems to have been. It's a typo morning. Oh yeah, Mercury has been really, really interesting to people. Miscommunications have been extremely awesome. Miscommunications are just fabulous going on right now in every level. And I could even talk about, like, even if to some degree, the weathermen get it right or whatever, but there's just this, like, the microcosmic macrocosmic thing. The internal external hasn't, that there seems to be a delay on that, because I don't really have miscommunications inside of myself. I'm very comfortable and aware of what I require in life, and I know from my perspective and the way that I present information, it should normally be uh, digested properly. And these days, other people, I don't know, maybe people are eating too much. It's causing their organs not to function properly. If you really want to get deep into this, this is probably what we'll do here. Maybe that's why I put astrology and organs into it, and what are people eating during these months, and what that is doing to influence, say, Mercury retrograde, and communicating with the body and communicating with yourself and what you want in the outside world. People, when people are overfed, or that's one way to miscommunicate. When people are underfed, meaning if they haven't eaten, they can communicate very well that they want food. People are fed well, they don't know. They don't know what they really require. They're just like, I'm good. I don't know what I want. Even though there's something that they really do want, the communication of it is hindered by all of the processes going on in the body, that their brain doesn't function well. So, as I always get into the types of densities, breathing, you know, that's going to be the easiest way. Oh, I can breathe, so I can speak. If I'm shoveling food into my mouth, how can I communicate anything with anyone? If you take a sip of a liquid, see how simple this is? Mm. And now I can communicate again. So I'm taking a chewing and then digesting. And then as I'm digesting, it's going through all of my organs. It's causing a shutdown. It's shutting different systems down. And when we look at the outer planets and astrology, the astrologists and the astrologers and all these people dealing with um, how the planets and the moons and the stars align, is that a larger suggestion? Is that normally what occurs for most people? Does that happen to everyone? I don't think it happens to everyone. I don't think it, it, you deal with it. Like if you are sitting there going on a fast and you're doing well and observing things around you, you'll still notice that the the taxi that's supposed to pick you up, well, nobody uses taxi anymore, the Uber or the Lyft, shows up at the wrong location, or you call somebody and it's the wrong number, or you text somebody and the text doesn't go through, or like Lucianne just did here, the typos, like the simplest things that you say become misconstrued, and that's really due to that you have no focus in here because all of the focus of energy is in other parts of your body, literally the other organs, and the organs are connected to the planets, and those planets are then controlling, because then if you have your gallbladder, your liver, your kidney, and then we can even use some of the smaller outlying energies. So some of your, let's say your thyroid and your different glandular systems. Now, if these things are functioning, that's where your energy is going. So how could your brain possibly be working to the highest level? And I think because of the heat and where the sun is and et cetera, a lot of the energy is being uh, moved around the body, and so much that people have like, oh, it's hot, like the dog days of summer. It's getting into almost August here, so we get to the highest peak of the energies. And so what do people how do people function with those things? I don't think a lot of people know what to do with it. And then you sit here and go, okay. And then you do like a month of somebody going, what the fuck is wrong? And freaking out about fucking everything. This is big fucking, like, whether you think it's plotted out or not by the institutions, the governments, the powers that be, the larger energies, whatever. Like, okay, there was just supposedly this giant fucking absurd hurricane, and I live in a place where that was, and I'm sitting here going, what happened? Where did it go? I mean, I live in a city that it always rains here. Parts of the city always flood. It's not new, and now we're like, see, that is the kind of, and people were just like fucking geeking out. The institutions that deliver you the message, they freaked out too. Like, oh my God, there's gonna be a hurricane. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't man-made. I'm not saying the information isn't dialogued. I'm not saying any of that. Could be, might not be. Who knows? But that happens to us on just in your normal everyday life. To like you go to a restaurant, you order something, and you don't get what you want. Somebody wasn't here. Like, how does that all occur? And it has to do with the energies of the planets and the internal energies that you have. And I think I'll only be redundant in repeating that, so I'll kind of. But alas, if I don't, maybe it will be misconstrued and people will mishear me. Let me see who's up in here. What's up, Branches? The ego is an extracting genealogical organism. Interesting way of looking at what the ego might be. Let me see. Extracting genealogical organism. That's all like that. That's a good breakdown of that word. I'll accept that. That's good. A lot of see, but here you go. So Branches. So you say ego is an extracting genealogical organism. Do you know how difficult that would be for 99% of the people to figure out any day of the week? And now during Mercury retrograde, someone has to try to decipher what that means. Like, it even took me a couple seconds. I was like, "Yep, that right. Yep, okay." But even if we made that the simple way, you know, it's ah. Yeah, so this Mercury shit and all the other Chiron and uh, Saturn's over there, and then you got these lined up, and then you got the. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how people. I don't know. Like, you just watch it and you go. I just, people are just geeking out over shit, man. I watch people geek out all the time over shit. Like, really? That's how you feel right now? It's like I went to a hotel the other day, and like the person at the counter was just in disarray, and there was nothing happening. It was like literally, it was probably different than the person has dealt with before, but like they were geeking out as if there was like 400 people in the lobby waiting for a room, and it wasn't even. I was like, that's not even what's. I was wondering if the person just like never in their life dealt with anything, and they're just like looking at the holy shit. They're just projecting some sort of crazy shit, and is that part of the larger hive mind consciousness, and that hive mind consciousness is actually controlled. There's a control grid that is literally using the 12 signs, the 12 apostles, the 12 major energies, the this the original seven planetary systems, meaning suns and moons from other realms. Are those things just because they? I mean, that's what causes time to occur. And if you just go, okay, all of those are the same thing, then time kind of goes. You're functioning within space, but time doesn't seem to exist in the same way. It's like doing it. It's like being. It's like if people have done certain psychedelics, time moves differently, or you can adjust it. It stops. Blah blah blah. But what if you could do that anyways? You're doing it anyways. Like, did I just? We'll talk about how many. It said it's guys. Look, I see a clock over here. I don't know. Has that much time passed, or did I just? Hold on, yeah. Yep. And there you go. There's like technology being funny. It's well, just a random number. Like, I don't know who this fucking person is. So they probably called somebody misdialed by one number, or, you know, however that shit works in the larger system, and then Mercury controls communication. Oh, and look at this little guy. He's trying to drink my beverage. Little bastard. Can't have that. It's not for you. Breakfast of Champions, man. So who else is up in here? Which way should we go with this? I think I covered everything that I had in the title. I would usually go in a longer extraction of information for people into these ideas, but oh, the numbers. Yes, the numbers. Because aren't they always in the time, and which is and it's something I've talked about before. Relationships with time, with people, with yeah, it always is. A spam is maps. It's a map. It's a map you don't want though. Spam is pork map, right? It's like it's muddy. It's gonna be murky, muddy, milky map. um, where was that? Yeah, numbers. So the numbing effect of numbers. Like people that deal with numbers all day. Like that one of the benefits of having a phone these days is phone numbers don't exist to people anymore. People's names do. That's maybe an upgrade. Maybe it could be, but it's the energy is different. Before you used to have to catalog numbers in your head to call someone. Now you'd be like, call fucking. Oh no, I got a little curly thing right there now. Hold on. Okay. Um, call so and so, and the phone will call that, right? You push a button. It's not. Here's 3 6. Here's 10 digits. That's different. So we've gotten rid of some of the numbers in our systems, um, which is good because the numbers just will like have you going. I don't know if you ever just stared at like a bunch of like math books and shit. I mean, for someone's mind just not to go, that's it's like wow. Well, it just starts to all funnel together like. Cause you read a book that has words in it and it provides you with pictures. And those numbers are going to provide you a picture, an image. I mean, it could if you were linking numbers to letters and letters to images and all this shit, but as a general rule, the numbers get in the way of actually experiencing energetics, or what energy is, what because if you had a problem with your liver, and I said 258317776.521, what does that mean to you? It would mean nothing, and it could mean nothing. Now, could you have a book there that if you went to that protocol that it says here's what to do? It still has to, you still have to go through a process, and it would still be like I could just tell you, and you could feel like, oh, God, my tummy hurts. I got a belly ache. Well, what to eat? And we could go through that, and we're imaging things out and being able to feel through something, where numbers just don't allow for that. Never have, never will, never could. Number doesn't feel anything. Letters don't feel anything either, but could you really tell a story with numbers to make somebody, yeah, 4, 1, 2, like it still has, really lacks any real meaning. Like somebody could probably do a Broadway play for like a 5-minute section of something, but no one would go watch a fucking half an hour of somebody trying to emote numbers. Like maybe, and that would be like the quaint, quirky new shit. Like it's magical. It's like watching. You go on a silent play where you have to act it out, like mime the whole shit. I mean that's actually more that's more betters. What's up, Jenna Diego? Interesting. Jenna, you could listen to what? Me speak? I've done a few 10-hour talks. I wouldn't listen to those though. Those are old ones. But yeah, we talk about. I don't even have a lot of, like, as we are talking about energy. It's a kind of a doldrum of a day, dark and cloudy and a little gray outside. So they're like, and there's not a lot of energy in the streets. There's not a lot of, so I'm just kind of sitting here and uh, meditating through speaking something, seeing who shows up. Yeah, math. There you go. Letters and numbers. Math has bugged the crap out of you for a reason. Yeah, because it has no math is matter, and here's why it bothers you. If I can make this the right way, the mother, the matter, the form. It bothers you because people think that by using form they can create out of form, not realizing that prior to form was the god. The god created the goddess. Now that's not which means that idea, just idea, created matter. We live in a realm of infinite possibility based upon our imagination, and the imagination is what affects creation of matter. Matter was secondary to all things. It doesn't. It gives us a place to be. It's not secondary in the sense of worse. It's equal. It's equal of the world. Like we play in a material realm. As Madonna said, we live in a material world, but we don't. By focusing on the numeric value, the number value, this is 12 inches by 12 inches. By focusing on that, we lose the ability to recreate the box or whatever we're looking at with our mind, and we start to think that we have to take the thing and manipulate it with our hands and do this, and we rely on the physical world, the physical matter manifest world, rather than relying on our ability to image something new in our minds, which then gives us the physical world. But nonetheless, if you that's the inversion of the principle of creation is whenever you find these people that are into true ideas of what I think people believe Satanism to be, which is um, bowing down to Baal, or because Baal is in effect basically the same thing as the goddess, or the material world, which is soil, which is what your bowels produce. So people that go, oh, all of the matter is the master, that is the real true inversion of saying, oh, my mind is more powerful than all things, so I can create as I wish. And it is the matter that you're creating, but that's the dilemma. And I think most people that believe they're uh, most people that believe other people are materialists are actually the materialists themselves. Materialists, people that always want to praise the Jesus and all this. Like, most people that be doing that really probably are more material than the people that are, you'd call them Luciferians, which are light bringers, which are not connected to Satanists, by the way. Uh, two different things. But the people that use mind to create versus the people that use, and I'm not saying not to go and enjoy doing art and grabbing a piece of clay and molding it, or taking a few things and building a building. That's great too. That's part of it too, because it's fun to play in the mud. It's fun to play with clay. It's fun to, you know, go grab some paints and go play. That's part of this, because you're playing in the material world. But to get to that realm, it took the mind to do it. So that's where the mathematical trap is. You get trapped inside of the math, which is the matrix. Matrix, M-A-T. Math, matter, mat, material. You're trapped inside of that. That's all it is. But you don't escape it. You don't you're always going to be in a physical realm no matter what. Even when you get out of body, you go to another realm that is somewhat physical. You don't you know to sit in empty space forever. I've said this a bunch of times recently. To sit in empty space of infinite consciousness forever, that will get you'll get pretty bored of that, and you'll want to create some shape, some object, some form, some matter to interact with. Just don't get lost. Don't get lost in the sauce. Got to create the sauce. It's the difference between juicing people up and creating sauce. A lot of people be juicing you up, juicing them up like steroids, juicing people up. It's the fake way. But if you be making the sauce, man, then you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta be an alchemist to make the sauce. But then some people, like, they make the sauce and they dive in. They get like they forgot that they made it. They can make more sauce. People that like have this one meal that they make and they're really good at making like grandma sauce. It's always grandma sauce. Then mama made it and it's heirloom recipe. And then you're making the sauce the same way. Like, okay, that's great, but you got anything else? Like, no, this is the perfect sauce. Grandma made it this way. Like, okay, what your grandma did is great, but like, can we find something else? Like, this flavor is kind of getting a little old. Thank you, but and maybe it's not the perfect sauce. Maybe you're just used to it. Find some new sauce. Can we add something? No. Can we take something? No. Can we just Can we make a whole new stew of it? No. That's the sauce. What's up, CJ? Who else let me hear? Which direction should I go with this? Should we continue with communication and shit? Because I'm trying not to be bothered by it, but it does bug me. I'm having this communication issues with some people that it's like I can't do anything about it. And it's in one sense I think they really want to be able to communicate properly with me and with other people, but they just somehow don't have the capacities to the the wherewithal. And I'm just like, and does it affect me? It does. And that's the troubling part. It shouldn't, but it does, because there's things that I require, desire, want to interact with it, because the communication shit that fucking sucks. I'm incapable of doing it because it just can't happen. Because if I'm trying to order something from a restaurant and they think I'm ordering something they don't have, but I'm saying I literally am ordering what you have, but they speak a different dialect, and all of a sudden I can't even order off the menu. That's really what Mercury retrograde is about, and what like communication with other people is. Like, I swear you. It's on the menu. I'm reading off. I'm literally. Can I get the number one? And you're giving me the number two. I don't want that. I want the number one. What you mean? What you mean? You ain't got no dough for pizza? I'm at a pizza shop. What are you talking about? CJ, do I have tarot cards on me? I am a tarot card, so yes. But yes, I could go grab them. Would you like me to? Jenna, can I talk about time and how it doesn't exist? Oh, yeah, sure. Um, as we're doing this, it seems like we're going from point A to point B, going forward somewhere. Like, time seems to be a linear process. But in fact, time would look something more like that. Time is, and that's not even a good way of putting it. See, people think time runs this way, but it it's like a sine wave in 3 dimensions. For you to consider it, it would be akin to thinking about how a seed blossoms into something. Now you would say it takes time to do that. Well, yeah, but it could go in many different directions. So what are those? Are those different timelines? But it's expansive. So for time to exist, you'd have to say from point A to point B, it takes 12 hours. Well, how do you define what 12 hours is? I mean, we can see cycles. We can see the sun and the moon, and we go, that's time. That's a cycle. It's like it. The idea of time is what do they say? It takes how many? Like even if we try to evaluate it, like let's look at it this way. They say how long is a second? How do you define what a second is? Where did it go? Where did I? Can you grab that second and give it to me? So if you can't show me, point to it, deliver it to me. What is it? What is time? And somebody says no. It's how long it takes for one carbon. No, what is it? One carbon atom to disintegrate to from. I don't know what it is, but there's some sort of that's how they explain it. But like, show that to me. Can now do it again. Repeat that. Continue. Repeat that right in front of me. Show me this continually, and then you're gonna box it up. You're gonna gift it to me. So where's the time? You have energy that it takes to do something. If someone to give me, here's another way to consider it. If someone gives me a nice piece of artwork, we'll say two people created the same exact piece of artwork, just a painting, and one person it took what you'd consider an hour, and the other person took 10 days. Which one has more value? Because you have to, whenever you're thinking about what time might be, where's the value in it? Is the person, because they're a master at it, is the craft of them taking a 10 minutes to do something for you and hand it to you? You'd be like, wow, this master craftsman. It took them 10 minutes to do something for you. Gives you something. You're like, wow. But if someone took 10 days to do the same thing to give to you, isn't that more of something? Isn't that more energy? Isn't that more awareness? Isn't that more consciousness? Isn't that more focus? Isn't that worth more? But you'd say, oh, that person's an amateur. It took them 10 days to do that? That should be like, whoa. But then you have to go, okay, how much time do they put in there? Time, they took more, if you consider time to exist. But energy is what existed. Energy created the time. You think the beginning of this to now it has been how long? For you, see, this is the difference in time and trying to get to the 0 point of time. For you to listen to me speak this, you might be on your way, you might be on your lunch break. And so you're compressing time. Like I hope Zen gets done talking about time and what it is and in this amount of time. But other people could be on a vacation. Motherfucker, I could talk all day about this. We could expand what time is. It goes back to the simple thing about like putting your hand on a hot stove or spending time with the love of your life. Time is very, very confusing in that sense. So at best, time is confusing. At best, but it seems to be created in some respect, and it seems to connect back to what we consider the Time Lords, what Saturn might be, what clocks are. They're locked to the sea. Clocks. Why you gotta watch? What are you watching for? What's up with these time controllers? Why why do we have to get up at 9 a.m. and be done at 5 p.m. when if we just dealt with the energetic natural cycles of what say the Mayan calendar suggested, it'd be off of rhythms and patterns of things. And those rhythms and patterns can be changed much like you can change things in music. So by changing the rhythm and the pattern, the tempo, you're changing the time. So changing time definitely can exist. So if changing time exists, then there is no one actual point reference of this is what time is. This is what a minute is. It's that if you go far if we make concentric circles and we go farther out and we spin that thing, like on a record, right? We go farther out, it's moving faster to get to the same spot as the internal part would, right? It would have to spin like this. And you would move a farther distance, it would be moving faster. So that would imply that time is moving faster. So on a record, on the outside of the record, the time is moving faster than the inside. So time is what? What if you get to the center point? If you got right to the center of the record, is anything spinning? Because if you're on that side, it's spinning that way, and if you're on this side, it's spinning that way. It's kind of like, okay, but but right there is we just, and then you get right to the center. What's the center point? If you spin a basketball, you can put it on your finger. Your finger's not doing this. Your finger just sits there. It's like the point of the needle. So what is time to that? That is the center point, or time wave zero, or the point where you put your eyes together and meditate right here. You know, where's time gone? Where does time go? Where did it come from? It seems to be a construct much like anything else's. The only way we can even account for what time might be is by physical object in front of us. It took that long to make that. Yet, long ago, it said the shamans, they would just create something instantaneously out of their mind, and it'd be a physical object in front of them. And not even a long time ago. See, that would even imply time. There's people that can do it now. If you thought really hard, and all of a sudden, like, you ever was just like, I really, really want some fucking, I want a cheeseburger. And you walk into your office, and they're like, hey, I got leftover cheeseburger. You're like, what? What did you do there? Did you manifest that? And to the materialist, they'll say, no, that person went and bought it, and it happened to be there, and this was a coincidence. And okay, just because you can't make something vibrate all the atoms in the palm of your hand, it's actually done behind curtains for you. It's done over there, and is brought to you. Because you don't know, I don't know what's going on beyond these walls. I can't tell you for sure. I can tell you what I've seen before. I can tell you what, I've looked outside before. I was like, where did that fucking building come from? I've seen buildings be built. I've seen different vehicles. I've seen, I can tell you what I think might be out there. I can tell you, but I might open the door up and there might be there might be sunshine out there. There might be a lake right there. I don't know. How would I know? So in the same way, for someone to get their burger, their burger, or whatever they wanted, for that time to elapse, it's not time, it's energy that could collapse space into this, like collapse space into like condensing energy into something. I could here, what do you want? And like, whoa, instantaneously. So if it just because it happens over there, it doesn't have to happen right in front of you. You can instantaneously get anything you want, or it could take longer. A seed will always become whatever it's supposed to be, no matter how long you think it's supposed to take. How do you guys feel about that? um, CJ, unnecessary. I mean, they're right there if you want me to grab them. What's up, Cymatics? Cymatics, your friends have created a city in another dimension for future Earth, and I don't know how to get there. Telling you to meditate and make a portal. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the good answer. Meditate and make a portal, but how do you do that? even to say how to meditate is clean your blood helps you meditate because your blood is energy portals. Your blood is basically it creates time and matter. That's the portal. So if your blood is dirty, you're not gonna be able to get there. Some people they you can bypass that a little bit if you already have meditated before and you could get out of you can get out of body and you can produce images in your head and such. But the portal is easy to create at say the witching hour at like 3 or 4, and that's only because that's usually when there's the less static frequency going on around you from all of the electronic devices, and you can more tap into the earth energies, and by doing that you can go through a portal, and that's basically like a warp tunnel that you see in movies. That's what going into other dimensions is. um, it's You'll hear like a sound. You might hear the whistle, the sound, the wind, and when you pop into another dimension, and you're in a body just like this, and it's just as physical as this. Um, Eat well, sleep well, chill out, relax, do some hot cold showers. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it, man. It, people that have used psychedelics and they do that, they always have to rely on the psychedelic. So that's not the answer, because they're gonna have to continue to take the soma. They're gonna have to continue to take the um, they're gonna have to continually find that item. They're still relying on the physical world to do it. So it's just a matter of trying to find a way of um, using your mind to do it. So the witching hour is meaning go to sleep, get up, stay awake, and then get into a meditation there. That's easiest because then you're going to be on that brink of sleep and awake, different dimensions, and from there you can breathing helps. Um, yeah, I couldn't direct you like I don't know where it is. I don't know what their their world or dimension looks like. I don't know where it's at for future Earth. That would still imply if for future Earth. See, that even implies. Give me 1 second, yo. Okay, we back. So future Earth would even imply another time. It is just another dimension. And future Earth, it's if they've made it, it's here now. Everything is here now. It's just the access to it. It's like the room with many mansions, or the mansion with many rooms. Excuse me. Just dipping into those energetics, those those frequencies. If you change the frequency of something, change the frequency of yourself. Change what frequencies you use. Change what frequencies are in your body. Change how frequently you urinate. Quite literally. The frequency of the channel you listen to. The frequency of how often you eat. The frequency of, like, those things will alter all sorts of things in this space, but maybe you're actually dipping into another space. It will look different to you. If you walk a different path home, it will look different to you. Of course it will. Was it there before? How would you know? You never walked that path before. Jenna, of course. You guys, that's awesome. That's awesome. Jenna Daigle. You're getting little dopamine hits as I speak. Interesting. What's up, Tillman Gorsick? Yeah, the 12 the 12 suppressed strands of DNA. I can't comment on that because I've never seen DNA. I don't know the strands to actually exist like that. I assume they do. I think it's probably on pretty good accord account that these things exist, and I think obviously they would probably line up with the 12, all the 12s, the 12 apostles, the 12 blah blah blah. And CJ wants me to grab my cards. Yeah, let me grab. I'll grab a deck for you. Oh, yes. Ain't that fresh. Oop. Let's see what I got here. I guess I'll just use this one. Because I don't want to get out the big decks because I don't feel like fucking moving. I like where I'm sitting right now. It's cozy. Let's see what we got in here. And as usual, I'm not bringing out the whole fucking deck. We're only playing with major arcanas because that's what we do. Yeah. Get out of here. Out of there. Okay. 22 choices in life. We can get into 22 cards. 22 choices. A second here. Make sure they're all here. Have extra ones in here. There we go. Got them. Okay. Jonathan, what's up? Yeah, I think Tillin. I think the difference if we really get to it is probably, like you say, the suppressed. I think if you compress all of the once they're wound together, you kind of have you can swing on those vines, as it were. You could. There's nothing outside of this realm, at least, of things that are possible. So if you have more strands of DNA or more unfurled, unlocked energies, then those things are less controlling of you, and you get to control it, the energy of that. And if that'd be the 12 standard things that we look at. Yeah. All right. So CJ, if you're still up in here, man, I go and grab my cards for you. Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So for shit like that, for me, it's I don't mind talking about it and philosophizing about it and kind of, you know, but there's little practicality in it for people. For most people, the practicality relies on how is this, uh, how can I apply this to my life, and do I get any effect out of it? Talking hypothetically and with all of that, that's fun, and I get what you're saying, and I'm happy to do it with just about anybody. But some people, that's so far like outside the box that they're like, how are you going to talk to them about that if they don't even know what clean water is? How are you going to talk to them about that if they've really never even had dreams? Some people don't dream. Like, I mean, they say, oh, everybody dreams. But not everybody dreams. Like, they do, but if you can't remember it, then the dream isn't there, right? So, yeah. I mean, I kind of understand. I kind of get how it works. Like I can see an overview of it in my mind. Like it would make sense that this place locks into this and there you got your controlling ruling planets, but then at some point I think when the 12 strands you're like, oh, I overlord all of this, it's all mine. I mean, I don't think you'd do that, but so CJ, what's up? What do you want? What do you what I why what did I pull these cards out for? What do you need? What do you require? Hmm. Recalibration of the cards. I'm going to shuffle the faces off. There we go. Oh, that one's fun. That one kind of got magnety right there. Magnety. Man, I hate whenever I get up in the morning and I don't wash my face and I get little curlies on my mustache and I get my nose and they tickle my nose. A lot of people are like, dude, you got a fucking blow problem, don't you, man? Is that why you keep getting up, you go to the bathroom just to go? No, I think I'd be a lot more wide-eyed and I'd talk differently. So no, I don't have it. I do not have a problem with cocaine. CJ, a little 101 on asking a question to the tarot. Well, because we're using major arcana, I would say ask me something. Um, See, are you asking me to CJ because you haven't done it in a while, or did you want me to answer this so I can answer it for whoever here has not played with the tarot before? Here, how about just ask me the question, and if it's unanswerable, I'll tell you why it is. It's for you. I mean, you can't ask me like, what is 4 times 30? Because that's a specific answer. It has to be a little bit more open and to energies. It has to be kind of. Um, I can't give you a tarot card could never give you anything too specific. Like but it will tell you some. It will definitely. Tarot is connected. It's already, as anyone knows, if tarot is in my hand, it's connected. So the question isn't like should I dig in 100% working on weird music, or should I back off of my environment? Okay, good. This is a perfect question. It's wide open. It's like you get a pretty good answer out of it. It's not gonna be like, yes, do that. It's gonna be like, it would seem that going that way is the better choice. That's what tarot does. So I will give you. Let's see. I guess I'll just give you one card. And this is nice because it will. Should you? Here, I'll give you. Here's the question: should I dig 100% working on my weird music? Should you? The second part, I would have to do like a 3 card spread and ask it 3 questions. So we'll just ask one question: should you continue on your path into the weird music? And I will give you the 3rd card in the deck, and it will be. There you go, Magi. The first card of the deck. The Magi, the Magician. And it came right side up. And what is the Magician? What is the first card? Let us see, because every tarot deck has a little different feeling on it, but it's pretty much the same. The first card of the Major Arcana is connected to the resurrection of Lazarvius. Power over reality. Trust in your own possibilities. Power over reality. Trust in your own possibilities. Pretty much says, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much go with your instinct. Don't question yourself. It's already there. Like, just fucking do it. I mean, would you be like, here, if I just go on it myself, like, would you be happy doing something else? Do you chase your dreams? You know what? Don't never chase your dreams. Chasing your dreams, you get tired. Just have your dreams chase you. It's like they say, if you want money, if you want the goddess of money, then follow the goddess of wisdom. The goddess of money will be sure to follow, but if you follow the goddess of money, the goddess of wisdom will run away. So, like, yeah, man, there it is. So you have your doubts, I see, sir. Okay, well, maybe then. See, CJ, I thought that was yours. I don't know that changes the answer. Um, you know, I mean, it's still go with it if that's what makes you feel right. You know what I mean? If it's just me being philosopher, psychologist slash like, what should you do? Like, if you fucking ain't digging working for that dude and you want to still work with music, go do your own damn thing. I don't know. you know. But if it seems to be panning out and it's like, seems like the Magi said Go with your, if I now reevaluating that statement, like go with your instinct, man. Like if that's what's up, if that's what you're digging. All right. Oh, oh, Tillin. You being offered other jobs, verbal non-compete. Um, yeah, I mean, if the look, if the other jobs are still in music, and I mean, if you got a good relationship with this dude, and you think that it's going to prosper into something, and you got like, all that, but remember, right now is not a time for all the reasons. Go read the about this whole. You're not supposed to be signing contracts or doing anything right now as far as new ventures and blah 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 because of Mercury retrograde. That's the that's the general consensus. Do I agree with that? Not all the time, but most of the time, I think for most people, they should probably heed that energetics of the world, saying like, during Mercury, do not sign contracts, do not go on new giant ventures because they're going to get mucked up, and they get mucked up because there's a failure in communication. What we have here is a failure to communicate. I don't know why I used that voice to do that, but that's what I did. So I don't know, man. What are we looking at? Like maybe August. So I would go with like just go with your instinct initially, which was okay. If maybe if come the end of it, if I don't know if you have a good relationship with the dude, then and you think there's something out that should get out of it, and that he will, versus like does he rely on you just for because you're the fucking awesome shit and he making money off you and you ain't making shit and you having like then like I'd still wait it out till come the end of Mercury retrograde. I'd look at the planets of Mercury, and there's a couple other planets in some weird alignments right now, which you know, it also getting into the deeper astrology of it because I don't know your birth sign, I don't know your birth chart and how that lines up because there's some birth signs, there's some moon signs, there's that during Mercury retrograde, literally it's more powerful for you and you could do shit. But I don't read astrology that deep, man. I mean, I could read you that deep. Like I could be like, oh, okay, yeah, fuck that shit. Go move on your shit. But you know, I don't know you like that. People could look at the birth sign and like the stars and all that shit and calculate whether the odds of you making this move right now. Tillin, can I pick a card for you? Alive and awake. Would I recommend fasting around? Absolutely, absolutely. Why not? I think fasting is a great idea all the time. I don't think anything. I think that only helps. Fasting from, like, if you fast from, see, here's the problem with fasting from talking during this, and this is the only downside to fasting, on from talking during this, is that some people take that as even more problematic. You'd rather just be slightly, um, maybe inarticulate or not communicating well than not communicating at all. Sometimes not communicating with someone is the healthiest choice. Sometimes it's bits of communication are healthiest. You know, if you just like, if you just like don't talk to somebody for a while, some people be like, I can't believe you fucking just didn't talk to me. Like that's bullshit. Like that would be the end of something. Other people like it's like a child. Like you would kill a child if you just didn't feed it. You know what I mean? You'd give it little bits of food. Still, you still okay. But and sometimes overfeeding is wrong too, right? Sometimes overfeeding is the best. You gotta feast, gotta eat. But like right now, it's probably not a time for feasting. It's probably time for either fasting or little mini foods. What's your Yeah, man, definitely. I'm sure it's probably helping you lots. Tilman Gorsick, present me with your question. I'll be right back again. Because this is bothering me. I have to go remove a fucking hair from my nostril. It's giving me the fucking business. Okay, I'm back. Tillin, what is the um? You need to give me what is the direction? You got to give me something a little more tangible. Like what? Like what do you mean? What do you like? The question should be more like, is going to the grocery store a good idea right now? That would be more than what direction should I go? That then I would need a whole set of cards and we'd have to go into a couple more questions. But as a general thing, like where should you go right now? These will tell you like more like here's the energy, do this or don't do that. It's kind of like these are kind of more like on off switches and energies towards things to say what to do. You're kind of asking a what to do, and cards won't tell you what to do. They'll give you like yes, that is magic 8 ball. Is this the right direction? You know what I'm saying? Is this the right direction? Like which direction should I go? Does that make sense, Tilla? Ah, is drumming on the beach a good idea at sunset today? This is a very direct, simple question. Um, I think I already know the answer. And there is an eclipse today. Is this right? Isn't there an eclipse today? Is drumming, and I'll take this fifth card here, and the answer is tomorrow. Uh, it was right side up as well, and it's card number 19, which is the sun, the sol, le sole, el sol, di sone, the sun. Card number 19 is drumming on the beach today. That sunset a good idea, and unanimously will say I think you could read right into that, whether it's a good idea or not. And the answer is um, the Holy Trinity, perfect equilibrium, solidarity, friendship, solutions of problems. Absolutely without question. That's what that means. Cards never get it wrong. Even if you knew you were doing that and knew that was a good idea, if I would have picked a card that said, fuck that, don't go, then maybe there would have been a storm today or some shit, you know what I mean? Maybe it would have been like a bad weather for it. I mean, I don't know. But it's funny you pick the card that deals with like solutions and friendships, and drumming is all about that. There you go, Tillin. For sure, man. Sitting there until you're another dimension. Yeah, if you told someone to sit there and meditate until they're in another dimension, it doesn't mean they'll get there. Like when you just say meditate, that doesn't translate to what do you mean meditate? How? You can sit here till you're blue in the face, but because your mind is going to wander. Are you a professional meditator? Is that what you are? You just sit there and you smoke some ganja and be like, oh, I'm gonna focus on the butterfly in the sky. Yeah, you probably could. I mean, focusing on something, you can start to adjust the light that's coming out of your eye and all of that. But as a general rule, like meditation, you got your mala beads and you're going through, and then you kind of can, but to get into that to do that, somebody just say for someone to just say do that, that's not a very good guide or instructor. Like just meditate and do this and you'll get there. That's kind of corny shit. They maybe they have a place in another space. I'm just saying to tell someone like just do that. That's not a good way of telling someone how to get there. Like if I wanted you to come to my fucking party, I'm like just meditate, you'll get there, man. I'm like nah. Here's the fucking directions. Here's how to get here. It's a fucking good time. Let's go. I'd be like, oh, you better bring a 12 pack. You better bring some goodies. Okay, we're gonna go on a rafting adventure. So bring some, that's what you'd say. You don't go, hey, okay, just think about it, man. You be there. That's so. I don't know the conversation. I'm just giving from the simple dialogue. There's a lot of people like, yo, man, Just gonna do it, man. Shut the fuck up. What am I supposed to do? How you do that? I'm sitting here for fucking 40 years doing this shit. And you gotta help people. You gotta instruct them. You gotta show them. You're like, this is what the fuck you gotta do. And you're like, meditate, dude, bro. You just gotta fucking surf the wave, man. It's like that. Hand a fucking 2-year-old a surfboard, throw him in the water on a surfboard, and be like, dude, you just gotta fucking surf. Just get in the wave. Just ride the barrel, bro. All of a sudden, the kid's drowned, hits the fucking barrel reef, and just, well, I told him to fucking surf. I don't know why he couldn't surf. Yeah, the imagery, yeah, but not everybody can image things in their mind. That takes a lot to do. My thoughts on karma. Karma is not. I don't have thoughts on it. It doesn't exist the way everybody believes. Karma is instantaneous. It doesn't build up. It's like karma and dharma. There's no karma to get rid of. There's no karma to get. It's like it's a simple cause and effect. Boom, dude. Like, if I push this button, the TV's gonna change. Like I'm gonna get a different channel. If I hit this X, I'm out of here. Like that's it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, there can be a little bit of like a lag on things of getting what you expect, but that's not, you know, karma, CAR, car, ARC, arc. So a car is movement, arc is a light arc, and ma is matter. It's a light to the mother. It's a light to energy, or it's a energy to matter, light to matter. That's all it is. It's not like, well, you gotta do fucking, you've been a bad person. Now you better go do some good for the world. It doesn't work that way. There's no such thing as bad. There's no such thing as good. It's just a matter of fact that you get a matter out of light, out of energy, of what you think. And then, so the cause is your thought. The effect is physical object or event or whatever you like. So there's just if you plant a seed and something grows, that's a thought that grows into something. You're like, where did that tree come from? We planted that. But you can also plant a seed and you go, I don't fucking like that seed. I don't want it there. You know what you do? Dig that motherfucker up, throw it out. That's equivalent of going, I don't like that thought. I'm getting rid of it. I like this thought better. If I'm thinking, today's going to be the, fucking, you go, going to this fucking restaurant or this and that. And you keep thinking that, you're going to end up doing that. You're going to end up getting that. You just go, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. That's equivalent to digging up a seed, to digging up a thought, of getting rid of karma. If someone's like, hey, I want to go to McDonald's, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go to this person at McDonald's, shit, eat that, okay, fine. My karma is I'm gonna have to take a fucking wild, nasty shit, and that's my payment for going to, that's my payment for going to McDonald's. Now if I want to switch my karma, I just go, nah, B, I ain't going to McDonald's. Fuck that. I'm going over here to this nice restaurant. I'm about to eat good. And they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know, but I want to go to McDonald's. Go do what the fuck you need to do. Don't bother me. I'm gonna go eat where I want to eat. I ain't bitching, complaining. I want to go to McDonald's though. Motherfucker, you go pay your price for your karmic dues, which is eat that shit. Now you take it up. I'm gonna go eat here, enjoy it, and do all that. So you've just changed your karma. And then you do that with all things in life, all things. Well, cymatics, I hear you, or cymatics of Earth, they want you to create something there. Though that's great. I hope you can. That's awesome. I mean, you should. You should definitely. Um, that's part of being in that realm of creating. I mean, you create it here too. Want to bring heaven to earth, that kind of thing. We're always doing that, bringing your thoughts to earth. But if they don't tell you how to get there, how the fuck they expect you to create something there if they don't tell you how to get there? I'd like you to come to my fucking house and build a statue of you know, what the fuck do you like? Build a shrine to Taco Bell. Let's do that. Come to my house and do that. Be like, okay, cool. Just meditate on it. You'll get to my house. Well, how do I get to your house? Just meditate on it. You'll figure it out. What? Doesn't make any sense. Alive and awake. Isn't Zen all about not showing the way? No, no, the Zen is everything there is. For me, I like to people that know something, I like to confuse them. People that are confused, I like to show them something. It's that's one aspect of it, but what isn't the Tao? What isn't Zen? What isn't? Yeah, I guess it could be why it's like showing the way and mapping it out versus walking there with someone. Like I'm not gonna fucking walk to your house and walk you back to my house. I'll give you the directions. Just follow the motherfucking directions. I don't know. Maybe another type of Zen is another type of Zen. You want a Zen koan? What am I? I'm gonna just give everything in Zen koan poems that are supposed to the art of confusing to get someone to use their own mind. Like yeah, maybe, but certainly live in a world where directions are helpful. I ain't gonna direct you what to do, but I'll map it. How's that? Is that better? I'll map it for you. Map quest that joint. What's up, Parsable 108? Danny Skylar, I'm assuming you're talking to me about the beautiful beast. Oh, I didn't know. I did not know. Yeah, somatics. Yes, that's certain. Sure, you do. But again, to level up your meditation, what does that mean? Because most people can't even tell you what meditation is. Most people say meditation is this. Okay, sit there, close your eyes. Okay, now you're meditating. That doesn't fucking mean shit. Unless they've told you exactly what meditation is. And most people don't even know what that is. Because it's hard to describe. It's hard to. Is it extreme focus? Focus, focus, damn it. Doesn't mean like it's like when you're in school, and teacher's like, pay attention. Does that actually? Ooh, what do I do to pay attention? I grab the desk and I just look harder, and doesn't mean you're gonna know any better. Doesn't doesn't mean you're gonna know how to make how to make 4 and 8 times 12 divided by 16 to the second squared. It doesn't mean that you're gonna figure that out just because you just look harder. Like that's not that tension in your body's not gonna do anything. Meditation seems to be the opposite of that. Smoke a blunt and relax, bro. You figure it out. I mean, I'm kidding about that too, but what is it? Well, it seems to be something like directed focus of energy. It seems to be, but meditation sometimes is a releasing, is a relaxing. Isn't meditation supposed to be comforting and relaxing? Like going, let's just meditate on nothingness. Let's be part of all the experience of everything. Here we are. Isn't that great? That's a type of meditation. You know how many types of meditation there are? I would Google it. Go Google how many types of meditation are there. How many types of different? It's like how many? It's I just say it because I've gone through the thing with like how many different studies into the shit, and then like nobody gives a good answer. It's like I mean there are people that have given good answers, that will direct you in the right way, but it's like come create with us. See, it just sounds ridiculous. Love up your meditation, then come create in this space. What are you talking about? Meditating my motherfucking ball sack. What the fuck you want? Focus. No, speak right. Speak right. What's wrong with what I just said? You ever looked at your asshole in a mirror before? Oh Christ, here we go. Fuck. What is Zen talking about? Yeah, have you ever looked at your asshole in a mirror before? It'll blow your fucking mind. Mm. I don't know. That could be a meditation. Bend over backwards, stare into a mirror, and see what your butthole looks like. I think that's a great meditation. I think everyone should do that for a good 2 hours today. How about that? There's good meditation. Ah, cymatics. That is a good meditation. I can't say that I've ever done that one specifically, but I like it. I suggest everyone listen to cymatics here. Meditation so far is collecting energy in different parts of your body until I see patterns and shapes. That's a great meditation. Um, I don't know that that would work for everyone because I don't think most people can collect. I don't even think they know what collecting of energy is in different parts of their body. I don't think they've done any meditations. I mean, maybe. How do you pull that energy up to your head and be like, "Ooh, I see this shape and shit." I don't know. There's times that I don't that I can just see shapes and geometric forms, and there's times that I can move energy around my body, but it doesn't necessarily mean they imply one implies the other. But that is a good one. What is the source? Oh shit. Connecting the source is a good one, yeah. But we'd have to go and define and point at what the source is. Dylan, what is the source? Okay, it's yourself. What part of yourself? It's your mind. Where's your mind? Produce your mind for me. Show it to me. And then we go into that play that game. What is the source of thought? Well, if thought is just everything and it's going to go through your mind, then how do you stop it? Do you want to stop it? Okay, what about the thoughts that are going through my mind right now? Am I just speaking them? Maybe. Maybe I have a different thing going through my mind right now, but I'm speaking to focus on what you guys want to know and not that I want to go eat a giant fucking lox bagel sandwich with cream cheese. Well, having, like now I could just go into some wild shit that's going through my mind right now that has nothing to do with anything. Or maybe reality. The restraint of mind is part of it, but maybe is it the restraint or the allowance of the mind stuff? How do you restrain the mind if the mind is everything, Percival? And that's just a question. I don't think that's the answer either. No, clear all. That's another. See, here we go. Now we're getting into it. Clear all things out of the mind and focus on the heartbeat. That is a good meditation. I still wonder how to clear things out of the mind. If you focus on the heartbeat, it would be like kind of like the mala beads where you would get to that point, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if you cleared everything out of the mind, then how is he going to be in a space that he can create from? That is the space that they're in, which is this magical city from the future. That doesn't that doesn't mean, yeah, you can't clear the mind. Empty your mind. Kinda. You're close. I mean, I'm telling you, that is another great meditation. But no, to heal, bring the heartbeat to the body part. That is a good one too. The breath cycles. There's another one. See, these are all wildly different, but all good meditations. If you let your mind flow, you can fall asleep. No. Not necessarily. If you let your mind flow, it becomes racing at times. You never sat there and just let your mind go, and it wanders into something, and it actually causes it wanders into a negative space or some like it wanders into you were working all day and you got something to finish tomorrow, and it gets into like anxious about that because you got okay, I gotta finish this project up for this, and then that could be something too that causes. So that is another thing. Yeah, you're sort of right but some people letting their mind go is if I let my mind go, where's it gonna go? Do you want me to speak through it? Do you want me to tell you the images I'm seeing? It would blow you. It would be crazy. Is that is any of that? That's all creative. Do I desire and want all of that right now or in any way? No, not necessarily. So is an infinitely creative space? Sure. Sometimes it's a looping of some shit that I don't like. There's no way necessarily to get out of that. You can breathe, you can do different things, but it doesn't necessarily. I mean, these are all honestly, these are all really good meditations. But that was my point of asking earlier, what is a meditation? And you all have had wildly different answers on what meditation is. It's easy to get caught on words. It's hard to get caught on silence. Yeah, this is a great statement. But how do you create silence? You don't. It was already there. So getting hung on words and that's to me that's more of that fodder that people like. They'll just say something and like, okay, that's some cute shit that somebody said one day, and they're like, oh, woo. To me, that's what that is. I mean, it's helpful to some people. That is a Zen koan. You know what you just said, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Sick Lusties, what's up, man? And by the way, I got a bunch of people getting at me. I have to get off of here. Um, in a couple seconds here. You say it's like handing a baby to handing a baby a surfboard and throwing him out in the ocean. Yeah, have fun with that. I don't know. The motherfucker just didn't. She just didn't listen. I told him to fucking meditate. Uh. Okay, everybody. Hope y'all had fun, and you found yourself some meditations. I'm gonna go and respond to these. I don't know whoever's texted me in the background. I got a couple of things to do, and I think, I may even have lunch today. We'll see. I'll see what maybe some snacks. See what we got in the vegetable container. All right, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Go surfing with the baby. Stare at your butthole. Do whatever you got to do. Be kind to yourself, because you are all you ever have, except for everyone else and everything else. Because we are not all one. We are all separate pieces to one larger thing. Don't ever get that shit confused. Piece of the whole, or whatever. Oh, a piece of your a-hole. Talk to you later, guys and gals. All right, Lucy.